In this video, I am going to help you demystify your sales and stop the stress of figuring out what does my future growth look like and am I bringing in enough leads to make my business profitable. How are you guys? My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. Now in this video, like I said, I'm going to tell you and teach you what qualifies as a lead, what qualifies as an appointment, and what numbers you need to measure so that way you can see what your growth is going to look like over time. Before I get into it, I do want to mention two quick things. Number one, my free masterclass is down in the links below. It's usually the first link to go check it out. I've gotten fantastic reviews on it. It is worth the investment. I don't care if you're new in MSP sales, you're just getting into the MSP world, you just got into the MSP world, or you're a veteran MSP business owner. It is going to help you make significantly more money and be more profitable by going and checking out that course. Number two, a lot of you guys, especially on past videos, have said, Harrison, I want a place that I can go get all of this information that you've mentioned in other videos, resources, all that kind of stuff. There will be links in the description for you guys. So whatever you need, it is down there. It is my most helpful videos, worksheets that I think you are crazy not to have, at least in your arsenal and using on a regular basis. So go grab those. Now let's get into it. There's been a lot of issues with people doing sales, and some people think that they're the best salespeople in the world, and other people think they're not good salespeople. And quite honestly, the only way you're going to figure that out is if you measure the data. The data is going to tell you exactly what you can and can't do as far as sales and what your future growth is going to look like. If you don't make any sales this month, what does your monthly reoccurring revenue look like, or your annual reoccurring revenue, ARR and MRR? Those are super important for you to know, hey, the future of 2023 we are currently in, or 2024 will be determined based on how you perform in August, September, October. It could be the make or break for getting you over a milestone of $50,000 a month or $100,000 a month, or maybe $50,000 ARR, annual recurring revenue. Wherever you're at, the only way to figure that out is to, first, we're going to dive into my computer, but use this sheet. And it's going to demystify all of your problems. So I've made this Excel sheet. It took me about 6 hours to make, and it is the best information you're going to find. And I just wanted to zoom out just so you can see how big it actually is. And I've broken this down for non-sales people as well. So if you're like, I'm not a sales guy, trust me, I got you. I'm taking care of you. I have even included the quarters, which is what a lot of people don't really know. They don't understand that March is a part of quarter one all of the time. This is normal sales speak for salespeople, but it's not always the case. So we have the year. I put in 2023, 2024. You're welcome to continue using this past 2024. Just swap out the dates. There's only 12 months in a year unless somebody knows something I don't know. So all 12 months are going to be here as well. And then the quarter is broken down. Now I've included your ad spend, your lead cost, your appointments booked, and we're going to go through this whole thing. And I want to show you how to use it so you can get the best information possible. Now, if you're just starting out, you probably have no ad spend, and that's okay. Kudos to you. I love the bootstrap idea and the method. It is, in my opinion, the best because it makes you figure out every aspect of your business. But that's a story for another day. Now, if you are looking for a CRM that can do this, there is not any that exist currently that are going to give you this detailed information. However, I do have a CRM video coming up in the near future. But let's just say you're starting out, you have an ad spend 0. Now, what is a lead? A lead generated is not just somebody saying like, oh, you do this, I'm interested. Now, I want to share with you that I have a stack of cards right here. These are not leads. These are people I've spoken to in the networking world. Now, some of you know that I did have a house fire about 1.5 years ago from the date of releasing this, and I lost all of my business cards. Thankfully, I had a CRM that digitally backed everything up. But just because somebody gives you a business card does not mean they are a lead. They only qualify as a lead if they have expressed interest in talking to you again about what you do. They are not a lead if they're just like, hey, give me your business card. I'll take your business card. We'll grab lunch. We'll grab lunch does not mean they are a lead. They could be a lead down the road, but they're currently not a lead. When the prospect says, hey, I'd love to sit down with you and see how you might be able to help my business, or I'd be interested in sitting down with you to see how we could work together, that is a lead. But if they are not willing to exclusively say, like, I want to see if you can help us, or I'd be interested in sitting down with an appointment with you, whatever that terminology is, it's pretty clear that they're interested in buying from you versus not. Now, if you are out networking and you can find leads in tons of different areas, many of you have joined your local chamber of commerce. I'd love to hear that you're taking the first step. There's BNI, Latip, and plenty of other professional networking groups out there. Some of them are incentivized to give you leads. If you're out networking, this is a pro tip. I don't tell a lot of people this, but you guys are my inner family now. If you get a business card and it is a lead and you're out there, you're networking at an event, and you're like, I want to make sure I remember that person I need to follow up with, because they're more than just a prospect of somebody I'm speaking to. They are a lead. They said that they're genuinely interested. What I do is I will bend that card, and you could see it right there. I'll either bend it or tear off the corner of it. And that is a good way for me to know I need to follow up with that person. Now, the reason I tear it off or bend it and I don't fold it in half is because I don't want somebody seeing me fold their card in half. I just simply grab it, tear the corner off, and put it in my pocket, and then I'm done with it. And I know that tomorrow, or when I get home or back to my office, whatever time you're out networking, I know that I need to follow up with that person because they have exclusively expressed interest in potentially becoming a client. They want to take the next step, and we'll call it the relationship, to see if we're a good fit for each other, which is going to bring me back to this Excel sheet. So maybe you're out networking and you got 10 new leads this month. Kudos to you. Now, lead cost, it says it down here, do not edit. Don't edit it, because that lead cost is going to be automatically generated based on how much money you spend on ads and how many leads you get. I'm trying to make this easy for you guys. Next is going to be the appointments booked. The appointments booked should never be more than leads generated. It'd be kind of weird, but you want to try to get as many appointments booked out of those leads that you've gotten. So if you've gotten 10 leads, hopefully you can get 7 appointments booked. Out of those 7 appointments, you want to schedule as many sales meetings as possible. Now, the difference between an appointment booked and a sales meeting: an appointment booked means we have something on the calendar. A sales meeting is somebody that actually showed up for the meeting. They could cancel that calendar invite or whatever it is, or that meeting, at any time. Don't lose out on that. Make sure that if it's a sales meeting, you are there, preferably in person, and you can go through their stuff with them. That is the difference between the two. You have to have a certain number of booked calls to have sales meetings, but it's important to be able to see how many you're actually booking versus how many you're actually following through. Because if there's not that many following through, you probably need a better CRM to help with your marketing to get people to consistently show up. It's just important. So we have appointments booked, we have sales meetings, and this is going to give you your lead to sales conversion ratio. So if you have 10 leads, right, and 4 sales meetings, that means you've gotten a 40% lead to sales conversion. That does not mean that they're buying. That just means you actually had a sit-down meeting with them. Now, in theory, you should be getting between 50 and 75% of your proposals out the door. That's a solid number. Now, what I mean by that is you had 4 sales meetings. If you send 100 proposals, 100% of your proposals, which is 4, you're doing something wrong. That means everybody that you've spoken to is the perfect client for you, and you need to send a proposal out. That's the wrong way to do this. Not everybody is going to be a perfect customer for you. If you are sending out 100% of proposals, meaning every single meeting has a proposal after it, you're not doing something right. Something is going wrong in your sales process. And if you need help on your sales process, and something that I've mentioned so far in this video, and we'll mention later on in this video, if you're having issues with any of this, there's a link down below to my MSP Sales Pro Blueprint. I think this is the first time I've actually really mentioned it. You need help, because you should not be sending out 100%, because not every single prospect is going to be worth sending a proposal out to close them on a deal. There's a big difference. And by you sending out too many proposals means you're probably going to have bad clients. And the worst thing in the world is a bad client. They're going to strip you of time, energy, money, and service desk resources. The worst thing you can do. They will run you dry and take up way too much time. And if you're interested in getting this, by the way, I do want to mention there is a link down below to download this. I'm not gatekeeping. You can just click it, put your information in, download it. You'll have it immediately in your inbox, so you can use this. It is a Microsoft Excel document. Now, out of those proposals, you want to see how many those deals closed. Once again, you don't want 100% of people to buy your proposal. And the reason being is if you're getting 100% of people to buy, you are either a sales god and you are the best of the best, in which case call me because I want to give you all of my money to learn from you. But that's not reality. You want to close between 50 and about 75% of those proposals. And here's why. If you're closing 100%, you're probably not charging enough. And if you're getting less or zero of those, you might be charging too much. Now, this is a blanket statement. There could be plenty of things going wrong in your sales process. You're not pre-qualifying. You're not handling objections well. Maybe you're over-promising the world and the customer just happens to buy the lies that you're spewing, which I doubt it, but it could be. Their salespeople have a tendency to overpromise and then the team has to underdeliver, which is a nightmare alone. I've already made a video about that. You realistically want to send 50 to 75% of proposals, and you want to close out of those proposals 50 to 75% of those proposals. Because you're only sending out a proposal if you think it's worth dealing with that client and potentially bringing them on. You don't want every single person out there to be a client. So it'll give you your closing ratio. Obviously, the number of proposals sent versus how many deals you have closed, which is going to be your closing rate. Now, I've included here some extra information that is going to help paint a picture for you. We have your profit per deal. Now, if you've closed one deal this month, let's just say it's 500. I did add a 1 here because if you don't add at least one number, it does give you a hard time. If you're closing 4 deals per month, you're doing fantastic. That's 1 per week. That is 1 new customer per week. You could put in your profit per deal here. If you close 2 deals, let's just change this number to 2. You close 2 deals. The first one's for $500 in profit, and let's say the next one is $800 in profit. You have now closed 2 deals. Your average profit per deal is about $650. This is where it gets cool. I've already gone through and built all of this out for you. Your average monthly income, this is this month. Now, if you go to the next month, it has now increased to $1,000, and so on and so forth. If you spend money on ads, it will also take into account what your average monthly income is after ad spend. So if you're worried or you're spending or you think you're spending a lot of money on ads and you're not seeing an ROI, this will help paint the picture. If you don't see those numbers going up in a way that you want to see those numbers going up, this will give you and paint you a red flag of, hey, something is broken. Now, as a salesperson, you want to look at things on a quarterly basis, and I've basically taken this entire thing and digested it down. So if you are a business owner, you can see exactly how many people have either or what your trendings are. If you're closing more over Q1 versus Q2, and you'll be able to see if you keep adding to this, all you have to do is drag that little corner down, and I'll show you what I mean by that. That little corner there, you can keep dragging that down and it'll keep building this Excel sheet. So if you add 2025, 2026, and you want to turn this into a master Excel sheet, I encourage you to do that. But it'll show you what your averages are, your average ad spend based on the quarter, the leads generated based on the quarter, your lead cost based on the quarter, and it's just quarter, but it's just giving you a quick little snapshot of what you're doing on a quarterly basis. This Excel sheet is downloadable in the description down below. My goal with this is to show you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong and demystify how much money am I actually making? How much profit is there? You should be able to figure out how much profit is actually in every single deal. If you send out a proposal for $1,500, maybe there's $700 in profit. Put that in there. And if you could strive to get 4 closed deals per month, you're in the money. That's profit, keep in mind. That's money in your pocket. That's not paying your salespeople or anything, or your techs or anything like that. That is money in your pocket. That's going to be the big difference for you. So I hope this video helps. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys found this tool useful. All the links will be down in the video below, the video description down below. If you've made it this far, I hope I've earned a like button, a subscribe button, and a notification bell, because I have recorded this video 7 times and found little things I wanted to tweak on the Excel sheet. Other than that, I love you guys. I appreciate you sticking around. I have a ton of amazing videos coming up, and I'm super excited to share them all with you guys. Peace.